We've had a request from someone in our Facebook group for a demonstration of how to draw ears. So Sandra is going to give you a demo of how she draws them.
Blimey, what's happened to yours?
This is why I never usually wear my hair up.
Okay.
Okay, so what are you doing here?
Well, ears are as complicated as you want to make them, because I think people are frightened of drawing ears because they think they're just so, all these folds, and they're just like scared, but they're really easy. I mean, if you're just doing a little quick sketch, you really don't need much information at all. As you can see here, I've just literally drawn a very simple outline, taken my water brush and pulled out a few shadows, and it's as quick as that if you're just doing a sketch. I'll do another one for you right now, just from a different viewpoint. Exactly the same thing, really. How are you at drawing ears?
I never really think about it, to be honest, because if you're drawing from distance, you don't have to worry about it too much, do you?
No.
And if you're drawing close up, I guess I just look at the picture and see what's in the picture or the person. I don't think about it as anything different. It's a shape, isn't it?
It's just basically the outlines of the main shapes that you see, and they don't always end anywhere, as you can see. You've got lines that just sort of go into nowhere, and then just the shadows, really. And you can make a pretty good ear with very little information at all. And don't forget, usually when you're drawing a portrait, people aren't really interested in the ears. They're looking at the person, their face. Obviously, I've done another one here for you as well, which is just using my Uniball pen, which isn't water soluble. And for this one, I just used exactly the same technique, but instead of pulling out the shadows with water, I just used a bit of hatching. But I actually prefer the other way, really, with the water. I think it's so effective.
Yeah, it gives such a nice softness, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think as well, I did this one fairly big as well, so it's this technique's probably better with a smaller ear. But it just shows that you can, do a similar
I mean, you don't
thing.
usually think about them in isolation, do you? Anyway.
No, not at all. No, you don't normally draw floating ears.
No.
But somebody did specifically ask us, how do
Yeah.
you draw ears? And I think the secret is really, don't think of it as an ear. Think of it as just a series of shapes and shadows, because the minute you put a label on something, you can panic, and all you're thinking about is the result. You're not thinking about what you're looking at. Do you know what I mean?
I do, yeah. I think that's the same with anything, isn't it? Don't think of it as what it is. Just look at it. Where do the lines go? Look at the negative shapes in there. Look at the shadows, like you say.
I think the shadows are the thing that really pulls something together. Just sort of noticing those differences in tones. Where the ear, as you can see, sort of folds backwards. It'll move away from the light. So you put a little bit of shadow in there, and straight away you've got more of a 3D effect. And there's usually a few sort of like little dimples here and there in the lobe itself. So that's another thing not to forget about.
Why not check out our previous videos, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss your Art Kick Sunday. Meanwhile, you can check out our podcast and find the creative challenges we have coming up at www.kickinthecreatives.com. Back soon.